She just smiles, a ghost movement essay. Most parents will recognize this without needing it explained. You are standing somewhere ordinary, a park, a pavement, the edge of a square. Your children are playing in the loose, uncoordinated way children do, when nothing in particular is being organized for them. There is movement, noise, small bursts of excitement and frustration. You are watching with that familiar split attention, present enough to step in if needed, distracted enough to already be holding the rest of the day in mind. And then you notice her. An older woman has slowed or stopped altogether. She is not part of what is happening, but she is clearly engaged with it. She is not intervening, not commenting, not offering guidance. She is simply watching your children play, and she is smiling. If you have seen this, you will know the smile immediately. It is not exaggerated or demonstrative. It does not ask to be noticed or returned. It does not lean forward into the moment or try to take anything from it. It sits easily on her face, quiet and complete. She just smiles. For many parents, this moment lands more deeply than expected. It is gentle, but it carries weight. There is often a sense of something being recognized rather than learnt, even if no words are exchanged and no meaning is consciously drawn out at the time. The image has a way of staying with you. What is being noticed here is not simply age and not simply kindness. It is a particular way of seeing the world that becomes visible in the eyes. There is a knowing in that smile, not a knowing that comes from instruction or reflection, but one shaped slowly by time, a knowing that does not hurry and does not need to explain itself. It is not focused on outcome, and it is not alert to danger in the way a parent's attention so often must be. The contrast between these two ways of holding the same moment is striking. On one side, there is the parental stance, attentive, responsible, slightly tense even in ease. The body is always half ready. Is anyone hurt? Is this getting out of hand? Do I need to step in? This posture is not a flaw. It is shaped by care and accountability. It exists because consequences exist. On the other side, there is the older woman's stance, relaxed, unguarded, settled. She is not indifferent, but she is not braced. Her attention does not scan the scene for what might go wrong or what needs correcting. She is not measuring the moment against what comes next. She is simply with what is happening. The smile marks this difference more clearly than anything else could. It is not approval of the children, and it is not nostalgia for her own past. It does not rise and fall with the small dramas unfolding in front of her. A child trips and recovers. A disagreement flares and dissolves. The smile remains unchanged. The smile carries a sense of ease that does not come from disengagement, but from familiarity. She has seen this before, not this exact scene, not these specific children, but this shape of life, the rhythm of intensity and release, the way moments swell with importance from the inside and then pass without needing to be held. Her knowing is not sentimental, it is practical. She is not watching life as something fragile that must be protected from itself. She is watching it as something robust enough to move, stumble, recover, and continue. For parents, this can feel almost like a relief witnessed from the outside. Not because responsibility disappears, but because another relationship to time becomes briefly visible. A relationship in which not everything feels decisive, and not every moment feels as though it must be shaped correctly in order to matter. This way of seeing is not confined to watching children. Once noticed, it becomes clear that the same smile appears in many other places. Older people watching the sea, standing at a bus stop, observing strangers pass in the street, pausing to look at animals, weather, or nothing in particular. The object of attention changes, but the quality of attention remains the same. It is a smile directed at life itself. Across cultures and across history, this posture has been recognized, even if it has been named differently in different times and places. Older people have often occupied a position slightly outside the main current of striving and urgency, not because they were wiser by default, but because time had altered the way moments were held. This knowing does not come from having answers. It comes from having outlived certain questions. Over time, experience teaches what does not need to be rushed, rescued, or resolved. It teaches that intensity does not always equal importance, and that many moments complete themselves without intervention. It teaches that life continues to move, whether it is being managed closely or not. The older woman's smile reflects this learning. It is not optimism and not resignation. It is settledness. The expression of someone who no longer experiences the ordinary movement of life as a threat to meaning or order. This is why her eyes feel different to meet. They are not searching, they are not guarding, they are not asking the moment to justify itself. They already know that it belongs. For those who notice this, whether parents or not, the recognition often carries a quiet reassurance. Not reassurance in the sense of comfort offered, but reassurance in the sense of trust. Trust that life does not require constant pressure in order to unfold. Age does not create this way of seeing, but it does reveal it more clearly. Over time, urgency loses some of its grip. Identity becomes less tightly defended. The future presses less insistently against the present. What remains is a wider, steadier attention that can rest on life without needing to interfere. That is what shows up in the smile. The moment passes, as moments do. The children move on. The street changes shape. The older woman resumes her walk, her attention shifting elsewhere. Nothing has been exchanged and nothing has been claimed, yet something has been seen. Not a lesson and not a message, but a possibility. A reminder that there is a way of standing in the world that does not require constant effort or vigilance. A way of watching life that allows it to be exactly what it is. The older woman smiles not because she has solved life, but because she has stopped arguing with it. That is the quiet knowing people sometimes glimpse in moments like these. And once recognized, it has a way of appearing again, wherever life is allowed to move on its own terms.